You are listening to Passport Talks, a podcast on how to become a true cosmopolitan, how to travel the world without visas, create a safe haven for your family, and access top-notch education and healthcare with a second passport or residency.
How to move to Portugal for permanent residency. With a Portugal permanent residence card, you can live, work, and do business in the country. However, it is not necessary to live in Portugal to maintain the status. You can apply for permanent residence after 5 years of holding a residence permit if you fulfill several requirements. We'll explain how to get a permanent residence in Portugal and what this status provides. What is permanent residency? The status of permanent residence differs from a temporary residence permit in that it is issued indefinitely. It does not need to be renewed every 1 or 2 years, but you need to renew the permanent residence card. For example, in Portugal, it is renewed every 5 years. Permanent residence in Portugal gives almost the same rights in the country as citizenship, with the exception of political ones. With a permanent residence card, you cannot participate in elections and hold public office. Permanent residents of Portugal can't enjoy all the opportunities for travel and relocation to other countries available to citizens of the country. For example, a Portuguese passport opens visa-free entry to 187 countries, and a permanent residence card to 26 countries of the Schengen zone. Portuguese permanent residency requirements. To become the owner of a permanent residence card in Portugal, you first need to obtain a temporary residence permit. After 5 years of maintaining this status, you can apply for permanent residence. Residence permits in Portugal are obtained by study, employment, or marriage with a citizen of Portugal, or for family reunification. You can also obtain it if you have a passive income and housing in the country, or if you participate in the state investment program. Obtaining a residence permit in Portugal by investment takes 4 to 6 months. Conditions for investors are simpler than for applicants for a residence permit on other grounds. Applicants invest from €250,000 in the economy of Portugal to get a residence permit card of the country. There are 7 investment options that you can choose from. Purchasing real estate in the country worth €280,000 or more is the most popular one. Real estate prices in Portugal are growing on average by 3 to 5% per year. The object can be rented out. After 5 years, you can sell it and return investment with a profit. The second most popular option among investors is purchasing units of investment funds in the amount of €500,000. Another option is to invest in culture and art. The minimum sum is €250,000. The money should be used to support art and the reconstruction of national heritage sites through authorities, state institutions, public or private funds. You can also obtain a residence permit if you invest at least €500,000 in science. Research projects must be approved by the government. Investment in business is yet another option. The required sum is €500,000. You can either invest in an existing business or open your own. It is also necessary to create 5 new jobs. If you make a capital transfer of at least €1,500,000, you can also get a residence permit. This option involves the purchase of securities or the transfer of money to a Portuguese bank account. The last option is to open a company. Under it, you don't need to invest a certain amount of money, but need to create at least 10 jobs. To maintain a residence permit in Portugal, the investor needs to keep the investment and spend at least 7 days in the country per year. The residence permit card is renewed every 2 years. To maintain permanent residence in Portugal, it is enough to spend more than 6 months in the country within 3 years from the date of obtaining the status. Opportunities provided with a residence permit and permanent residence in Portugal. Accommodation in Portugal. A residence permit in Portugal allows you to enter the country legally, even when the borders are closed. Investors can permanently reside in the country or spend holidays there. Travel without visas. Portuguese residents can enter the Schengen countries without a visa. You can spend up to 90 days in half a year there. Free education for children. A residence permit and permanent residence in Portugal allow you to enroll a child in kindergarten or school for free. Residents can enroll in Portuguese universities, and their diplomas will be recognized in other EU countries. Residents can get a higher education free of charge on a competitive basis. Quality medicine. Portugal has a high level of medicine. The life expectancy confirms it. The citizens of the country live an average of 82 years. This is longer than in Belgium, Denmark, the Czech Republic, or Croatia. The average life expectancy in Europe is 78 years. To receive full health care in Portugal, you must register with the National Health Service. To do this, you need to get a user card. The document must be presented each time at the hospital and pharmacy. You can get a user card at the polyclinic in Portugal where you live. You need to take a residence permit or permanent residence card with you. Some medical services are free for citizens of Portugal and foreign citizens in the status of a resident if they make contributions to the Social Security Fund. Additional diagnostic studies are paid for everyone. Tax incentives. Residents of Portugal can receive a special tax status of non-habitual resident. It allows you to not pay taxes on income received outside Portugal. Also, the status allows to reduce the tax rate on income from professional activities in Portugal to 20%. Without non-habitual resident status, the income tax rate reaches 48%. To become a tax resident of Portugal and obtain a preferential non-habitual resident status, you need to stay in the country for more than 183 days per year. A European bank account. With a residence permit or permanent residence in Portugal, you can open an account in a European bank. That allows you to keep your savings in hard currency and not to lose money on commissions for foreign transfers. An opportunity to obtain EU citizenship. Holders of residence permits and permanent residence cards in Portugal can apply for Portuguese citizenship. Portugal is a member of the European Union, so with its passport, you can live and work in any country of this association. In addition, Portuguese citizens travel visa-free to 187 countries, including the US, Canada, UK, Japan, and Australia. Permanent resident status is an optional step on the way to Portuguese citizenship. You can apply for citizenship after 5 years of holding a residence permit. The status of permanent residence in Portugal is convenient for citizens of countries where it is forbidden to have a second citizenship, for example, Kazakhstan. What makes Portugal attractive for moving? The climate in Portugal depends on the area. In the north, the climate is cool and rainy. In the south, it is warm and sunny. On the border with Spain, the climate is continental, hot summers and cool winters with low rainfall. Snowfall in Portugal is rare. Snow is mostly found in the Serra da Estrela Mountains. The southern part of Portugal and the Algarve are some of the sunniest places in Europe. The sun shines even in the winter. Therefore, the south of Portugal is a popular holiday destination. The cost of living in Portugal is one of the lowest in Europe. According to Numbeo.com, the cost of living in Lisbon is 37% lower than in Paris and 20% lower than in Berlin. Compared to Madrid, prices are 6% lower. Safety. In 2021, Portugal was ranked 4th out of 163 in the Global Peace Index. The country has a low crime rate, no internal conflicts, and the risk of terrorism is minimal. Portugal does not participate in international political conflicts and wars. Good ecology. More than 300 Portuguese beaches have been awarded the Blue Flag. This award is given to beaches whose water meets high-quality standards and is suitable for safe swimming. The development of coastlines is prohibited in the country in order not to harm the environment. Almost 80% of electricity in Portugal is generated by renewable natural energy sources, such as wind, solar, and water power plants. By 2050, Portugal plans to become carbon neutral and switch all public transport to electricity. Entertainment. There is something for everyone in Portugal. Relaxing on picturesque beaches, water sports, hiking, sightseeing tours, or exploring medieval architecture. The country has centers of entertainment and educational leisure for children and adults.
That's it for today. This has been Passport Talks, a podcast on how to become a true cosmopolitan. The link to the text version is in the description. To learn more about second citizenship and investment programs, visit our website, immigrantinvest.com. Follow Passport Talks and stay tuned for new episodes on all available platforms. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.